very, very important. And that is the tax reform bill. And of course, we know now that presently the reps are suspended the debate indefinitely as Northern governors mount pressure. So I'm just going to read a little bit, then we'll show some training videos to, back up the story. Now, the House of Representatives has suspended indefinitely the debate on the tax reform bill earlier fixed for Tuesday following mounting pressures from the 19 northern state governors. The planned debate was called off in a memo signed by the clerk of the House of Representatives, Dr. Yahaya Danzaria, as 73 northern lawmakers kicked against the bill. Those who rejected the bill include 48 rep members from the Northeast and 24 federal lawmakers from Kano, and the former governor of Sokoto State, Senator Aminu Tambuwal, who represented Sokoto South senatorial district. Now, key critics, including former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, Borno State Governor Babangana Zulum, and former Secretary of State Governor Aminu Tambuwal has voiced concerns over the bill's socio-economic impact on the northern region, already struggling with the economic challenges, high poverty rate, and security issues. The presidency has dismissed claims that the proposed tax reform bill before the National Assembly will impoverish northern Nigeria and would only benefit Lagos and Rivers State. Now, that the update is the suspension of the debate, and of course, right now the president is trying to also tell the people from the northern state that the bill is not to impoverish the northern part of Nigeria, but and not to just benefit Lagos and River State. I do not even know why they believe it's just Lagos and River State if they have to, pass the reform bill. But in respect to this, let's quickly watch the actually two videos we're going to be watching back to back before we come to the studio to react. And the first one is where the 48th member of the House of Rep from the Northeast rejected the tax reform bill. And right after that video, we'll be watching still on the tax reform bill, where a Nigerian decided to, work and talk about the tax reform bill and why it is important Nigerians and the Northerners actually key into this bill and, agree for the bill to be passed. This is just a Nigerian trying to express himself. So let's quickly watch the two videos back to back, and we'll come to the studio, of course, to react quickly before, hopefully we have enough time to do that. We'll be right back.
On behalf of 48 honorable members from the ravaged Northeast sub-region, I, Ahmed Usman Jaha, want to first of all rely on the position of the three previous caucus leaders. In addition to this, the primary responsibility of every government is security and welfare of its citizens. Northeast, even before the insurgency, was the poor of the poorest regions in Nigeria. Today, our people are reduced to beggars. Billionaires of yesterday, millionaires of yesterday had to queue up in an IDP camp or host communities to collect 10 kg of rice. If other parts of the country is in our shoes, even this sitting is not possible. We know how enlightened are they. Another thing, we understood the content of the bill, so nobody should test our understanding. We have concluded that we are going to make further consultations because there is nothing that is cast on stone. We rescheduled a meeting to hold on Wednesday. It will not hold. Yes. The same thing, I just want to conclude by telling you that if there is no a hidden agenda Why will you be putting the cart before the horse? Another thing, lastly. Yes. Lastly, I heard somebody, let me conclude. I heard somebody saying that we are doing this because of you northerners. I was disappointed because why will you be insisting on doing something in my favor that I don't want? On what grounds? Have I spoken the mind of the Northeast region members? Thank you.
Welcome back. Now you you heard it from them. What's your say listening to what the lawmakers were saying?
Yeah, I listened to the former Speaker of the House of Representatives yesterday, Dugara. He took time to appeal to the conscience and understanding of his fellow Northerners to see this bill as the best thing to happen to the North. And he went further to say, let them destroy tribalism, let them destroy nepotism, let them destroy other things negatively, and embrace this bill, that it will favor the North mostly. And he went further to say that time is constant, which means time is innocent. If the leaders of the northern states will be able to tell their followers the truth, you know that this thing benefits them most.
Okay.
He talked about the livestock commission, and that is what we have been talking about. You remember the issue of Ruga ranching? If they had embraced it, by now, you and I that come from the south, that normally celebrate the burial of our parents with cows, will be able to go there and be buying it. It's a private, lucrative business. You gotta say it yesterday. Now, I was in the north in the 70s, 80s. Now, this pomo you are eating, there was nothing like pomo then. The high-size cane in Sokoto produced. You talk about the granite pyramid. You talk about the cotton. You talk about so many things that are being produced in the north. But because of the oil, he used the word, let them kill laziness. And that is the problem they have. He talked about the out-of-school children. It is more in the north. And this bill, if implemented, will favor them because those on the low income earners will be exempted from tax. And who will benefit from it? The north.
No. Yeah.
So then he talked about other things that will benefit from them. He said, don't agitate much, because when you talk about even the VAT, the VAT, who is benefiting from that is even the north. Because Lagos, Kano, and Port Harcourt, they record the highest, and they are taking. In fact, it took time to say that with this new bill, Lagos are supposed to be getting 90-something%, will be getting 15% of the VAT. Then what it intends to encourage, when you talk about self-reliance, it goes with self-sustaining. Then you cannot be self-sustaining if you are not self-reliant. Produce from your area. It now goes to say, you look inward, how you are going to generate revenue from your states. Do you know that Lagos can close their eyes and call it a bluff with the federal government? The same thing with rivers. So that is what this bill is trying to address. So that we will not be coming to the center. I remember in those days, early 60s, The center was borrowing money from the regions. The center was borrowing money because the regions were producing something. I spent about 17, 20 years in the north. I know what are being produced in the north, right? In Medugri, they have brown beans and white beans. In Kano, they have also the Granite Pyramid. Then in Gombe, they have Dadenkua where they produce tomato. Where are these things today? They are not. Then you come to the west, cocoa is there. Come to the southeast, the palm oil is there. But all these things have died. What about even the cassava, the gari we are producing today? You see, some of these things, that's what I said, go back. And look, Dogara said, honestly, if they embrace this reform, that they will be so sufficient that they will not even be looking at the federal. And that is the intention of this bill. To me, the bill, well, they talked about the implementation. The implementation has been very, very bad.
Yes.
That is the area they should even work
on.
Because talk is cheap. The chairman of the committee came out and addressed the nation. And they also complained about consultation time. The man took time to say every agency, every department, every state that needed to be consulted were there. They didn't refute it. So what are they talking about? It's laziness. He used the word laziness. The states are lazy. And I remember when I was in North, even now, at the end, between 25th and the 30th of every month, each governor will send the Commissioner of Finance to Abuja. But this bill, if it's implemented, you'll be able to look inward. You'll be able to look inward and be able to, in fact, it's just like the Igbo man. Let me use Igbo man. The Igbo man doesn't depend on government.
Yes.
Right? That is just like you planning. I told my children, told my grandchildren, don't plan anything based on what you will get. Plan your own, have your own budget on what you can afford. If anything comes in, it becomes a profit. So that is what this bill is intended to do. To me, there's nothing wrong with the bill. But then the implementation, not that I will come here now, because what I said here was what I said in the morning somewhere. And that was what I said last week in some other platforms, so that they will not say Mazi is speaking from two sides of the mouth. I am in full support of this bill. But then the implementation is what we
are worried about.
Yes, we are worried about.
Okay.